Hey everybody, it's the last RoboKai here. It's Let's Play Nioh. I'm joined by Cool Guy, and it's time for the big fight. Sekigahara. This one decides all the marbles. This one decides history. And in a moment, we'll be launching into a very long cutscene.
For once, I am glad her injuries are not yet healed.
いつ動くとまでは家康と訳しておらんのでの。趨勢が決まるまで高みの。
あの大筒はリーフレ号から。リーフレ号、安人か。向かうは西軍。大谷の首を取れ。小早川勢がこちらに向かっております。寝返るとは人面重心なり。我も人として戦う道理はあるまい。見事な砲術よ。小早川も目が覚めたであろう。殿！鬼が現れ、小早川勢が突破できません。何？ケリー。
And so begins William's involvement in Sekigahara, which he never actually had. So this is straight up purely fictional, but that's okay. Because a lot of things that did happen in there did actually happen. Kobayakawa, the clan, basically sat in this really nice, advantageous position where they could attack either side and did not move for a good portion of the battle. And it wasn't only till Tokugawa forces fired their cannons on the position and basically let their forces know, if you're not going to fucking do anything, we are going to shell you to death. That they got up and moved, quite rightly so, and this changed the face of the conflict. Not that the Ishida forces didn't have a series of, problems of their own along the way, but Kobayakawa's turning against them was probably the big one. And it was actually not unexpected. We saw Otani Yoshitsugu there. He actually had positioned his forces predicting that such a thing would in fact happen. And he's a very interesting fellow. I love him. He's actually one of my favorite characters. We've seen him before in the cutscenes, and you've noticed his body is riddled with amrita. The game describes him as having an illness. Historically, he had leprosy, which is pretty fucking untreatable, pretty horrible deal for him. But he was an incredibly intelligent man who resisted the disease as long as he could. He was actually riding a palanquin during Sekigahara historically, just because his leprosy had gotten so bad he couldn't stand up. and he was Mitsunari. They were both like justice ministers of Hideyoshi's government, which I assume is to help try and buffer and strengthen his position as a leader without having been originally been more than a peasant to start with. And there's an interesting story because the loyalty that Yoshitsugu had for Mitsunari was quite legendary, and I've told this story to Cool Guy before, but essentially there was a story of at one point when a whole bunch of the officials were together and they were drinking from a cup together. It was like this bit of a ritual that goes on, and so it gets passed to a person, they drink, gets passed to another person. Well, when it came to Yoshitsugu, a piece of pus leaked from his nose and fell in the cup. And so naturally, as the cup went round, everybody was just kind of like, they took tiny sips, they had really horrified expressions on their faces. It came to Mitsunari, and he just took a very deep drink of it.
Just slammed it back like he was at the bar. Just like this is my free drink.
And Ishida Mitsunari gets a little bit of a rough go historically for and even during these times, a lot of people thought he was like someone who didn't earn his position, someone who didn't work very hard, someone who was full of himself. And the thing is he just had an extremely strong sense of justice. He wasn't in any doubt what this sense of justice was, and he was not afraid to speak his mind. But he was also not afraid to do things like that, to show people how he felt. And it was those sorts of gestures that won him the loyalty of people who were incredibly intelligent, incredibly capable people, like Yoshitsugu, like Shima Sakon, and while those people would fight to death for him, other people that sort of allied with him kind of got a bit sick of his shit. We'll get into that in a subsequent video when we talk about the Shimazu's involvement in Sekigahara.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's basically the Shimazu story, which is also an amazing story. Like one of the reasons I've always loved Sekigahara and the Warring States period of Japan is the big reason why I also love like the Three Kingdoms period and to a somewhat lesser extent the American Civil War period, and that it was very much a time of huge characters doing huge things. The personalities of all of these characters in this historical drama come out in amazing relief even hundreds of years later, and it's delightful.
Yeah. And we're about to have to deal with the course of all of these yokai that are apparently attacking everyone. Although we haven't actually seen any ourselves on our way up here. Just extremely strong, extremely dangerous samurai who will murder the shit out of you if you're not careful. They are serious business. Do not take them lightly. That's why I shot most of them from a distance.
These other cats just sort of stumbling around. They're way too preoccupied with what's inside that arena. Even
we're about to find out.
Remotely worry about you.
I'm just gonna use that.
I was gonna say, like, what are you up to now? Usually, you usually don't go into these things, and then we have some very specific thing in mind.
Mm-hmm. Boss time.
Boss time.
This must be Kelley's work. Tell me where he is.
Kelley. これは自らの意志でやったの。この大谷城、三成殿のため、義のために、残された命、使う覚悟よ。
Yeah, Yoshitsugu has fused with his guardian spirits and has become a pretty mob boy.
By the way, that mask you have on just absolutely sells every single freaking cutscene we've seen so far.
Yes, I was doing
like
weapon
a frickin'
grinding,
idiot.
like for proficiency points, and I killed an Onryoki during a Twilight mission because they are just throughout most of the Twilight missions, and so I got that and I made it. It's a heavy armor, but it's still pretty good. He just stabbed himself to get those.
Yeah, I was like, did he just seppuku himself so he could make a yokai pool? Because I'm pretty sure he just seppuku himself so he could make a yokai pool.
I mean, what he is doing is a self-sacrifice, so it makes sense.
Yeah, no, but like I'm not gonna mess with it. It's just I will admit I was not quite expecting that particular. Damn, son, chill out already.
見事じゃ。そなたに義は分かります。
弱き者と強き者が共に生きるように義はなくてはならぬ。弱き三成殿と共に強き者がはびこるよう終わらせたからだ。私が散った後も義に生き義に準じる者はまた現れましょうぞ。
大谷義次殿、討ち死にされました。戸田勝重殿、平塚為広殿も討ち死に。
三成殿、落ちられよ。
引かぬ。義は我らにあり。
こたびは負けじゃ。ひとたび敗れながらも将軍となった頼朝公の洗礼もある。ここは引け。
我が名は芝左近清興。事務省に過ぎたると言われしこの左近が首。手柄としたき者は堂々かかってまいれ。
Those very famous words are attributed to Shima Sakon as he rode forth to buy time for Mitsunari to escape the battlefield. And Shima Sakon's tales during Sekigahara is one that's very, very interesting because he fought for a very long time and he killed a substantial number of people. And they never found his body after the fact, and a lot of that, I think, stemmed from if he did in fact die there, because no one could actually properly describe what he looked like at the time. Because he traumatized a lot of people. People in the years after Sekigahara woke up specifically having nightmares about him. Like, this is recorded. He gave
Let this
people
sink in,
very
folks.
specific post-traumatic stress disorder to the point where they could not even, like, remember what he looked like because he just terrified them so much. He fought relentlessly and like a demon. And there are a lot of stories that come out saying that Shima Sakon did not die at the end of Sekigahara. We're gonna go take care of that.
I mean,
We're gonna
yeah,
go take care of that.
demon versus demon. I feel like that's a reasonable matchup there. That's medically speaking, that is completely sorted, or that makes complete sense though. One of the more insidious things of post-traumatic stress disorder is that one of the functions of REM sleep is to strip the emotional context from your memories, so you can remember things without necessarily needing to relive it the entire time. And the thing is that if an emotional context is simply too strong, the brain will fail to strip the emotional context from it, and will then end up having to try again the next night, and the next night, and the next night. This becomes the characteristic recurring nightmares of post-traumatic stress disorder. And one of the ways that the brain will eventually try to sort it out. This process takes years, by the way. The brain is incredibly persistent about attempting to catalog everything that it's given in this fashion. It will just block out and stop trying to think about individual pieces of the memory to hopefully manage to get through and preserve what remains of the memory without waking somebody up from sleep and therefore failing the emotional stripping process all over again. So, you know, like when Robokai says that this is recorded, this also makes perfect medical sense.
he left probably the most profound impression of the battlefield, and you know, not for nothing. Now, as you've noticed, we didn't get a Guardian Spirit out of that fight. Did you notice that?
Did not. He just sort of walked.
Cute Moth Guardian Spirit left us. Yeah. Cute Moth Spirit has gone off to find Yoshitsugu's son-in-law, another very famous historical figure in of this time period that we will cross that bridge when we get to it. But let's just say he didn't need more power. What the fuck are you doing, giving him more Guardian Spirits? Fuck you.
That was the boss we fought when he was hanging around with a dude with leprosy. I can only imagine what it would have been like he hanging around with somebody with a body that works.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see. Anyway, Sekigahara, the level design is really quite interesting. It's not a huge level, as you can see, but it is a level that is suitably dense with enemies and firing positions, and you can approach it from two different ways, but approaching it the way I did is the way you don't get not only shot with guns but shot with cannons. And we're gonna try and take care of some of these cannons along the way, because we do want to poke around in there. But first, we're just gonna. If you're a big samurai and you got a helmet, I'm gonna. Oh, here we go. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I couldn't do this back in the bandit village.
Yep,
we doing it now.
Come on, double rail.
Line them bonces up, you sons of bitches. Yeah!
Yes! Yes, 2 melons.
That was
fantastic.
I'm a monster.
Nope, that was awesome. Like I'm giving you a pass on it because it goes with the rule of cool.
Yeah, but you will get bombed the shit out of you by cannons if you try and sort of take this from the attacker's side. Sneaking up through the trenches is the hands down best option you have available. I'm like, how do I get up there? Can I get up there? Yes, I just gotta go around, I think. It's alright, I just
there were dudes sniping down at you, so I imagine there's gotta be a way up there somehow so you can pick up the stuff that they drop.
Yeah, game's pretty good like that. In the towers that are broken, you won't that don't have access, you won't see any one of them. But the ones that are, you'll definitely get presents, prizes, and chests.
It'd be rude. It'd be very damn rude if you couldn't go steal the money from the kids you just beat up. You know, like that one bully with a pituitary problem from middle school.
Well, excuse me. I would never bully a pituitary kid. That's just wrong. The kid who smells a lot, maybe, but you know. Kid who always smells like he's been handling dog poo, yes, but not pituitary gland.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids like that in my middle schools. Yes, middle schools.
Yeah, well,
I went to like.
We've talked about your growing up periods a few times. I almost feel like this Let's Play is becoming the Unreal Tournament slash Cool Guys School Therapy. I don't know.
Unreal Tournament is like has more parallels with this game than you might think.
Oh no, clearly. You've managed to rightly come up with quite a few.
I might run off at the point, but I always bring it back.
Look at those dodges. I just love this battlefield. They've got such a great,
yeah.
Like Sekigahara was a flat sort of, area in where the battle was met, but lots of hilly regions and everything. It was very, very nice capturing. You see the cannons are just firing right now. They are fucking everything.
Just sort of bombarding an area. I really would not want to try to ford that particular river.
Didn't blow me up though, which is kind of weird. Look at all these giant piles of dead bodies.
Really amazed that it didn't blow you up. Okay.
I was robbed.
if you say so, game. Nice. you've done that a couple of times this episode. I've always liked it every single time.
That's a guy dying with no regrets.
Yeah, I know. This is a dude who played Yu-Gi-Oh and always wanted to die to the Blue Eyes White Dragon. There you go.
Okay,
Come
there
on,
was
it's
red
red
when I fired that. This man is the juke master.
Yeah.
You saw how I shot two
seriously.
guys at once and said, "You ain't saving bullets." So there is an achievement for actually going through and just blowing all these cannons up, and you can use the nearby gunpowder barrels to do it. The game does actually have a lot of really nice little achievements that you can do. Unfortunately, it didn't blow that one up, and I'm not sure like how many you've got to blow up to get it to work, but I was a little disappointed there.
There's nobody manning it anymore, I guess.
I already got the achievement anyways. You can like if you really want to keep trying, you can respawn them by visiting a shrine anyway. But like I said, it's like a bunch of muches. I already got it. I don't need it.
Cannons.
It doesn't give you an in-game bonus for doing it.
The cannons are what respawns, yeah?
The barrels next to the cannons. The cannons stay
okay.
broken, which is nice.
I mean, I was gonna say that sounds a little weird if the cannons themselves respawn, but the barrels make a hell of a lot more sense. Hello there, little buddy.
Yeah, we'll get him in a moment.
I'll
I'll have to do a little bit of remembering to remember how exactly I'm supposed to do it. And remember, gunpowder can be ignited by bullets, so
it's like shooting the gas tank in Grand Theft Auto. It shouldn't work, but I'm glad video games say it does.
yes. I'm also using the Tanuki Guardian Spirit. The Tanuki Guardian Spirit has the funniest Guardian Spirit attack ever, and I'm going to realize I haven't used it yet and use it, and it's just going to be a gut buster. You're gonna love it.
Fantastic! I am waiting with bated breath.
This is like I love the use of fog to sort of to highlight the confusion that would surround a giant battle like this, and and also to sort of obscure the fact that they're not rendering like a million people fighting. When we go to the fringes of the battlefield, we'll see sort of like distant models charging across and charging around and things like that.
This is pretty accurate to how battlefields of the early I shouldn't say early gunpowder era, but this particular era would end up being, simply because smokeless. Oh, buddy, that is a man who is regretting his mistakes right there. That axe samurai right there. He could have finished you. Anyway, so yeah, smokeless gunpowder wasn't exactly in heavy use. So anytime you had any kind of artillery back there, it would be just this not just this sort of cloying smoke, but also just this heavy acrid stench that basically goes with the saltpeter that was burning off. And note that the gunpowder of this era was mostly black gunpowder, which they frequently made with the urine method, which. Like, if you're not familiar, you can go look it up. It's fairly basic chemistry, but the important part for this video is that you literally just did take human urine as one of the ingredients for the black powder, and it burned him perfectly. So it smelled like pee, and like pee gone rotten. It's terrible.
I distinctly remember in the in the manga Drifters, which Oda Nobunaga is a character in. He gets he goes into the creation of gunpowder a fair bit. That's definitely something that sort of comes up. Not so much the smell, but the usage of pee in order to get there.
And the gross thing is that the more yellow, the better. Like for that formula, if you've like drunk a whole bunch of water and everything, it's not as good. It'll still work, but it's not as good.
You want to have the stuff that makes you dehydrate a little.
Yeah, you just you want the gross stuff. You want gross pee, not like Okay, dead heat. Oh, for a minute there, I thought I saw dead hat, and I was like, I have questions.
A lot of people
All of these
just not
people
handling
are
it
just
anymore and
completely
giving up.
exhausted, and you're just demolishing them as they try to rest.
Well, like, some of them are our allies and some of them are theirs. They were all just sort of, like, hiding and hunkering down. Sekigahara was a village before this happened, and is a town once more. And it actually has, and I talked to Tokugawa about this beforehand, but it has 2 sister cities that were established in 2016 and 2017. I don't know what this guy is doing,
What?
excuse
Dude,
me.
come on, man!
What is this? What are you doing? Okay, like, these guys are supposed to scripted, like, fall in front of the cannons and things like that and sort of drop like
Dude,
that.
you are giving us a rash!
He was just hugging onto me, so you know what? I'm just gonna kabuki straight past this guy. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the only reasonable way to handle that.
But yes, I just want to check this one. Yep, Irene is my hero. I think Irene is my hero has cropped up more than once. But anyway, Sekigahara has is quite a large town at this point. It's eaten up a few other sort of gifus. But Sekigahara itself has a sister cityhood with Gettysburg and Waterloo, which cracks my shit up.
Yeah, this was done very intentionally, by the way. This was done, I think you said, in like 2016 and 2017, respectively.
Yes.
Yeah. So like East Caps were just like, alright, let's find the biggest pissers of battles we can possibly find, and that's our criteria. Just like, mother God. This is like the grimmest sense of humor. This is worse than like Russian comedy.
Well, you know, they were pretty important battles that historically still resonate even today within their cultures.
I mean, yeah, like I mean, I've brought up the American Civil War a couple of times, and there's a reason why Gettysburg was considered one of the major watershed moments of the war. So yeah, no, like makes total sense to me. It's an incredibly good joke. It's just also an incredibly dark joke.
This guy. I would like to say this particular Odachi I've got is ridiculously strong. It actually gets I think it gets a bonus for enemies defeated. Which is
did that guy just
wild.
chuckle because he dodged your stab there? I think he chuckled when he dodged your stab.
A little bit. All right, it's time to face the guy, and uh-oh. That doesn't work well. Some dude's already having the maximum number of trauma. All right, let's go.
いつぞやのと作り人か。お主とはいずれ刃を交えると思っておったわい。
I want Kelley, not you.
ここを通すわけにはいかんのでな。参られよ。
Alright, Shimasakon is a fight that typically kills me a lot because he's sort of like a good mix between the strength and there's I clench every time. Between the speed of EA Naomasa and you know the power of Tadakatsu. He sort of sits between them both. And I usually die just over and over to him a lot. It's gonna be a lot less. Oh, come on, let me Tanuki! Let me Tanuki! You son of a bitch! Oh, okay, yep, I did this because I really just did not want that to happen.
Oh,
and he's...
buddy!
That's what makes him so scary when he does it. Oh
Yup.
my god.
Yup,
Look at this thing!
Yup! Nope! That was not okay.
Yeah, you slow down. Let me do this. Oh my god. You're still Tanuki blocking me. Stop this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't care if it kills me. I'm gonna Tanuki you, son of a bitch. Yes! lot better at him.
Fantastic. Absolutely beautiful.
Let's do this for a little bit.
Yeah, it's alright.
いやいや、負けじゃ負けじゃ。敵ながらあっぱれ。三成殿、茶坊主、小三士、そろばん名人など揶揄されるが、自らの俸禄の半分でわしを召し抱えたその無欲さ、清廉なる野心がわしには何より好ましい。三成に過ぎたるものと言われておったが、最後まで武士らしき奉公もろくにできぬとは。三成殿こそわしには過ぎたる主君であったな。この首を持っていけ。この首があれば一国一城の主も夢では。
I don't want your head.
それではわしの気が収まらん。ならばあの槍ではどうじゃ。
You trying to buy time?
あんたが頼りにしていた侍もおしまいか。あと数百命があれば絵の具の秘宝で何とかできないこともない。兵を犠牲にしたくないという場合でもないと思うが、どうかね。
頼む。
We've got a giant skeleton problem.
Well, now that's
so
happening.
that's next time on Let's Play Nioh. We will be engaging in combat with the Gasha Dokuro, and doing a few little side quests as well.
And also, that was a giant boner.
You have no idea. I've been the last Robokai.
Boners. And I've been Cool Guy.
And boners. We'll see you all next time with boners.